Thank you. I'm going to conduct an interview about myself, talking about what I like, my past experience, my work, and my studies, and how I've been coping with all that. So the first question asked me to talk about myself. So as talking about myself, I'm Christella Igihozo Karekezi. I live in Rwanda. I'm the fifth born in my family, and I started my high school at Matutina Secondary School. It's in northern province, and now I'm a student at Kepler. Kepler is a university that it's a program that has a partnership with Southern New Hampshire University, and I'm pursuing Associate of Arts degree in General Studies with a concentration in business, and furthermore, I like exploring new things. The second question asked me to talk about my past work experience. So talking about my past experience, I've been working in Makuruchi Complex Arts. It's a business, and I've been working as a marketing officer. As other marketing officer, I had responsibilities. So my responsibilities included preparing, planning, and managing the publications of the brand, so as to increase the awareness of the company. The next question asked me to describe a time when I worked well on a team. That time when I worked well on a team was when we were introducing a new strategy to advertise at work. Then the task to do, I had to find new agents to work with. Then I had to brief them about what we were going to do. So, because I was in charge of mentoring them about the work, so I scheduled a meeting with them to according to their availability, and then we talked about the completion of the projects, how the tasks are scheduled, what we are going to do. Then after the meeting, the agents started to advertise the brand, and it was successful because we got so many customers afterwards. The next question asked me to talk about a time when I had to do many things and had to prioritize my tasks. Talking about that time when I had to prioritize my tasks, was when I had 2 projects to finish, to work on, and I had to submit one before the end of the day, and I had to practice the other project. It was a PowerPoint project because I had to present it in the next morning in class. I prioritized my work, and I started with the project to submit by the end of the day because it was near the end of the day, and I worked on it for 2 hours, then submitted it. Afterwards, I extended my working hours before sleeping. Then I practiced on my PowerPoint projects, and because I had to present it in the next morning, I practiced it for an hour. Then after practicing it in the next morning, I presented it, and it was successful, my presentation. Then I also checked on the assignment that I submitted, and I mastered it. The next question asked me to talk about a time when I had to go above and beyond the call of duty, and how I handled the situation. So sometimes it's required to go above and beyond the call of duty while working. So I remember a time when my employer, the marketing manager, was not available, and there was a meeting being held by the Director General in the conference room. So before leaving, he noticed that he will not be available, and he told me that if possible, if I had time, I can present myself to the meeting. But even though I had so many tasks to fulfill, I availed myself, and I attended the meeting. I took those responsibilities and attended the meeting. Then I noted some key points that the director manager mentioned, and afterwards I give a summary to my marketing manager. In the end, after the meeting, the director general was happy to see how an employee, like a marketing officer, can take responsibilities to attend a meeting of other officers and record notes for the marketing manager. And it was a successful meeting. Then I was rewarded for my actions. Then the next questions asked me to talk about a time when I worked effectively under pressure. That time when I worked under pressure was when I had an hour to prepare for an urgent meeting due to an employee who were missing on his duties, and I had to find someone else to replace him before the time elapses. The employee communicated late that he's not available because he had an accident. So as someone who is in charge of how work is going, so I had to call for a meeting with my fellow colleagues and talked about the actions to take in order to complete the work effectively. One employee took the initiative to replace the one who had an accident and didn't have the power to come work. Then the work was done effectively and on time, and it was a successful work. The next question asked me to give an example of a time when I showed initiative. Looking back on the time when I showed initiative was when I was in class and the class representative asked for a person to attend the meeting for him because he had a project to finalize at that time. So I presented myself as a candidate to attend the meeting and recorded some notes about the meeting. So after attending the meeting, I had showed initiative and I was rewarded by the class representative. And also as a student, my professional portfolio was strengthened at school. So the next question, it asked me if there is any other thing that I would like anyone to know about me. So as I said, I'm a student. I like to try new things, discover new horizons, as adventure is part in me. Thank you.